I didn't know. I didn't have an idea, not an inkling, that he is fully married with kids, 2 children. I didn't know. But I just know that there was a time he asked me for my opinion on polygyny. So basically, he asked me in one of the conversations that, can you be a second wife? And I said no. No. Yeah, it's okay. The brightness is fair. It's fair. NEPA has done it. PACN, I don't even know who is supplying us now, but NEPA for life. They shall have done it, because no light. And my ring lights are not here. So we are using window light and nothing but window light. A lot of us don't believe when some people come up to say, oh, I never knew he was married. He told me he wasn't married. This usually happens to those relationships outside marriage. They call it side chick, right? So because a lot of side chicks will say, oh, I never knew that he was married or that he's a married man. And many times we'll be like, no, it's a lie, you know, you know. We always say it's a lie because we have no idea how much some men are willing to deny. Flat. It will not bend. Straight and flat, leveled, their family. You understand? So they are willing to deny their family, wife and the children for a new thing, a new toy. In their case, a new toy. Now let's bring it to halal. That one is haram. That's the haram of having more women in your life that you're romantically, linked with. That's the haram version. Now the halal version of having multiple women you're romantically linked with is polygyny, proper polygyny. There are actually cases where you probably have heard or read or you probably know where a woman or a sister says, I never knew he was married. And in very many cases, or very many times, we are quick to say it's a lie. How wouldn't you know? You would know now that. Anyways, I'm here to say that yes, a lot of sisters are lying to that effect. It's not true. A lot of them know, but very many cases they don't know. This men, why we don't believe these women, why, I mean, for people who don't believe them, is that you think you're very important and there is no way your man, like the man who was in love with you back then, would deny you flat. And the keys you have for him that to you he's so much love, but they do it. So it happens. There are second wives who didn't know there was a woman at all in the picture, not to mention a full-blown wife with kids. It happens because I have a personal experience with it. And this is actually why I'm here. And it's a very long story, so I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible, just to let you know that there are men who have lost it here and don't mind denying their family. They exist. My eye is getting teary. So I guess because, I don't know. I don't want to use my glasses because it's kind of, there's reflection. It reflects against my camera. But I think I would rather a reflection than a hurting eyes. Okay, so back to the story. I was very young, very, very young. Like, there was no way. I was even thinking of men. I was 17, so men, boys, the last on my mind. I had just finished secondary school. But then there was this brother in kind of our area, because not to our area, Sha, who had always been so invested in me and all of that. And he was willing, I'll wait for you to graduate. I'll do this and all of that. I'll do that. You know how they go now, normal level. And I knew, people will be like, oh, he was just saying that he knew I was not someone you want to say all these things to so you can get on with me or maybe just have a part-time thing and go away. So I know that he wanted marriage. And I also know that he was willing to wait. But here is the deal breaker. I didn't know. I didn't have an idea, not an inkling, that he is fully married with kids, 2 children. I didn't know. But I just know that there was a time he asked me for my was it my opinion on polygyny. So I told him, we've had conversation before when I told him I understand that you really like me, and yes, you want not backyard boyfriend girlfriend, you want marriage, but I'm young, even though I never looked it. At 17, I already looked 22, 23. So I'm still quite young. I just finished my secondary school, and I intend to graduate before I think of man, then marriage. So he said he was going to wait, but in his own plan, he was going to at least see my people. His people get to meet my people just so that they know that, okay, oh, there is a future in-law. There's no way I would even allow anybody to do my sedeki at 17. I mean, it's not haram, but I wouldn't have allowed it at that time. My experience, my knowledge, and the kind of person I was when man matter is in question. So there's no way I was going to, let it happen. So basically, he asked me in one of the conversations that, can you be a second wife? And I said no. No. While I think I want to believe that I have an open arms. I want to believe that I do to polygyny, like more wives coming in. I don't want to be the one, you know, going in to meet someone. So I can be a first of two, three, four wives, but I do not want to be the two, three, four that back then complicated life for someone. He said, okay. I didn't know, last, despite me thinking I was smart and all of that, I was a baby. I didn't know that he used sense, style to get information from me regarding his situation. Do you understand his situation? So that was my response to him basically. And he said, okay. Then he went on to ask me again, if you're married as a first, can your man have another wife? And I said, while I have the choice to choose to be a first, second, third, or fourth, I mean, that's a choice. I don't think I have the choice like that to say a man who has married me, a Muslim man who has married me, should not remarry another woman. I have much more control over choosing to be first, second, third, or fourth than I do over saying don't marry another person after me, except of course I'm the fourth wife, which is one of the nice positions in polygyny that I like. Anyways, because now you go meet people, normally nobody is coming after you. But anyway, back to the gist, that was it. And now I just want to jump into, like I said, it's a very long story, but let me just jump into how I later got to know. So back then, I used to attend Islamia, Ilekeu, or Madrasa, right? Madrasa. So I am a kids centered human. I love children. Then now that when I was a teenager, I love children. Now that I'm an adult, I love teenagers. I love adolescents and children. You understand? So back then, I was close to all these kids in Ilekio, like those kids of 10 years, 12 years, 8 years. So there is one that I'm kind of very close to. Not that very, very close, but she likes me a lot, and I know, and I do like her as much. So she calls me auntie, like anywhere she sees me, those kind of area kids that are just all over you. So this particular day, this girl had seen me. This girl had seen me, you know, with him, like at our junction. So everybody, is passing and all of that. So she was going home and then she met me there. So she just greeted us, normal, oh, assalamu alaikum, sister, bye, okay, bye. Then the next day, I don't know if it's the next day or the third day, but I don't know, but not long after that, she called me and she said, oh, do you know Madam so and so? I said, yeah, I do. And I said, please, is he your friend? I said, yeah, we are friends. She now said, okay, since you people are friends, it means you should be able to talk to him and advise him. And you understand? I said, yeah, because I don't know where that was going to. First off, I'm not very close to this guy, let's be honest, because the conversation is always just, oh, how much I like you and I want to marry you, your opinion on this and that. So it was very, very peripheral, right? So I told this girl, yeah, and then this girl went on to say, "To, she is his neighbor, and she would like to beg me that I talk to him, but I shouldn't say she's the one. I should just make it look like since we are friends, I know about his family, and maybe I just have an idea how he treats his family." I'm like, oh, family? Where are we going to? Well, family. So then she later, made me understand that he is married with 2 children, and that's not the end of it. He's been threatening to divorce her because, in the girl's words, there is someone he wants to marry who said she cannot be a second wife. Ya Rabbi. Someone you don't even know if she would marry you or not. You're already willing to lose what you have at hand for someone that I could just go to the university and that's the end, right? You didn't even think about that. But the fact that he denied his family flat, I had to compose myself and act like, oh yeah, oh his family, okay, oh he's not treating her well. The girl was like, no, auntie, area kids, hey God, oh. They will knock you story, even the one you do, they will be just you, they will tell you, even the one you did not ask for. So she was like, oh, he doesn't care about her, he's well to do, but if you see the wife, you would want to puke because he's doing everything he can to make her leave. And that's another thing that we know. Well, if you don't know me, you never know. A lot of us know that when a man is tired of you, he's going to put up behaviors that will trigger you, and hoping that he triggers you to the point where you on your own choose to leave. This is very common, actually. So when he tries all of that and you refuse to leave, he will then have no choice than to shushu you. You understand? But very many cases, a lot of men prefer to frustrate you and you leave. And they say, oh, I did not pursue her, she left on her own. They prefer that than to have it on record that they divorced you. So he was on that, he had already passed that stage. He had already passed that stage of frustrating her, doing everything he can to get her out of the house. And, she's, I'm trying to say cultural girl because I don't know, well. She was still there. They have 2 kids, so it wouldn't be so easy for her to like just jump out like that. Maybe. So yeah, basically she stayed. And because he had seen that, like say this person is going on, he now decided to say it's time to go. So right now I have just 400 MB left. My camera, I need to free up my space to record more videos. But basically, that is the story, and that was how. See, like I said, I want to keep it very short. You want to use me as a source of tears for another woman. God, if that had happened, I don't think I will forgive him. Will I even forgive myself? It's one thing to, no, it's terrible. So there are actually men who set women up against another, and they are both victims, to be honest, but you wouldn't know. Oh, the second wife is a victim because she didn't even know that you existed. And the first wife too, of course, is thinking that you are the one who, manipulated her man to chase her out so that you can come and take the house when you didn't even know what exactly you were signing up for. So in all of this, let's be empathetic towards one another because at the end of the day, there are mashallah men, alhamdulillah, may Allah continue to improve them in iman and make them better. But then there are also those ones who are out there and they're just out to destroy as many women as they can, okay? So let's be empathetic towards one another. And basically that's the story, that yes, it really does exist. There are cases where the woman doesn't even know that you're in the picture because your man no longer cares about you and has denied you and your kids because he can't care less. Anyways, bye.